Hi Gemini, this is your check-in. We are going to take a look at what's next for you, Gemini. I'm going to pull some tarot cards and then some oracle cards to top it off. So let's get into it. What is next for Gemini? Something's going to catch your eye. Something or someone. Ooh, I think there's something or someone that's going to catch your eye and you're going to kind of keep it a secret. You're going to be a little bit hush-hush about it. You kind of want to figure out things on your own before you go proclaiming things. We got two cards that came out. Interesting. I only wanted one more, but this card wanted to come out. So let me show you what we have. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Chariot. And we have the Six of Wands. This is interesting. This is interesting because I do think what's next for you is kind of like moving in the dark, moving in the shadows, hatching a plan. I almost get this feeling of like running away, eloping, something like that. Somebody might be eloping. Some Geminis might be eloping. But there's something that you're really kind of excited about, and you don't want to share that excitement because, one thing that I do love about you Geminis is that you do get very excited and you're excitable, and it's always kind of rough to see when a Gemini is excited about something and they meet like a damp kind of like an earth sign or something, and it's just like this wet rag on Gemini's excitement, right? So there is something here that is exciting you, and you don't want someone to be a damp rag on your excitement. So you're kind of keeping it to yourself, and you're making some moves, and you're Gemini, so you're very planned out. You're very making very instinctual but very calculated moves. There's something that you're trying to figure out, and you're just trying to get to know as much as you can before going public. But then you are making some power moves, and once people see the kind of moves you make, they're going to be like, whoa, when did you do that? How'd you do that? They're going to be impressed, which is kind of nice. So keep your moves in the shadow. Not everybody has to know. Don't let them know your next steps. Let's see how Spirit wants you to handle this next development. Yeah, they agree. Keep your information close to the chest. Not everybody needs to know. There's some kind of situation where you're gaining insight, and you're gonna take what you can from it, and you're not too worried about what direction everyone else is headed in. You're gonna do your own thing. Let's get one more since we got an extra one. You're gonna let go of expectations. You're gonna follow your desires and your passion. You're going to follow your passion. There's something where I think you're keeping it hidden because you're kind of worried about what other people might think. You're a little bit concerned of how other people will react, and yet it's driving you forward so much. And this bottom row is about how are you going to handle it, right? And so advice from Spirit on how you're going to handle it. And so Spirit is really saying just take care of your own, and leave behind any self-limiting doubts, any self-limiting ideas, because you have such vision when it comes to planning and envisioning. You're such a visionary sign, and people have a hard time imagining your vision. When you tell them, you get excited and they can't envision it, it brings you down. And so I think Spirit is saying do this the way you want to do it on your own. You don't have to share it with anyone. You know what you're doing. You are very passionate about this. And don't let the ideas or misunderstandings of others keep you stuck, and really go after what it is that you're trying to fulfill, and let go of any kind of, I'm really just getting the sense of let go of anyone else's energy, because your energy is what's going to lift you. You know what I'm getting with this Chariot? I'm getting like the end scene of Grease, the movie, where they're driving away from like the fairgrounds and they're in the car, and all of a sudden the car is flying. That's what it's going to feel like. You're going to take off in some sense. And then people are going to see the flying car and they're going to be like, what? How'd they do that? So yeah, really leave behind. Don't be too worried about how other people are going to receive it. They're going to receive it well, but that doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter how they receive it. That's not part of what's important in this scenario. What's important is how you feel while you're doing this, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing. And again, if somebody is eloping, I can definitely see that here. If somebody's eloping, this is really very much saying like, do what makes you happy. Don't worry about what other people are gonna say or gonna think. Let me pull some energies. Yes, my goodness. Okay, we have the 5th house. We have Leo, and we have the Sun. Those are all like the same energy, because the 5th house is, Leo is the landlord of the 5th house, and the Sun rules Leo. This is all like this is very similar energy, and what it means is go with what gives you passion. The 5th house is about passion and creation. It's about children. It's about sex. It's about anything that you create with passion. It is about creating the art that you want to do. The Sun is about what drives you. It's about your ego. The Leo energy is about the Sun. It is about what drives you, and it is about feeling excited about your abilities and not afraid to show them when the time is right. And I pulled a card for how you can get closer to spirit during this time, or your higher self, and we got voice. I think even if you are hatching out a plan on your own, there's something about either singing, or there's something about speaking with yourself. Remember, you are the twins. You are Gemini energy. There is a beautiful dialogue that can happen between just you and yourself. You might want to do some voice recordings where you talk out your plans with yourself, or some journaling, but I'm getting voice recordings because we have voice. There's something that you're able to transmute. Yeah, your voice is very powerful right now. So pay attention to that. Let's get some oracle cards for Gemini. Feels so right. That's exactly it. Spirit is really telling you to go with what feels right. Don't worry about, we got sweetness at the bottom of the deck. Don't worry about what other people might think, what they're going to perceive this at. It's about what drives you, again, which is about what feels right to you. I love that. Feels so right. And voice, very much. And, twins. There's definitely synchronicity there. And that's in card number 6, and we have the 6 of Wands. Oh, we had sweetness at the bottom of that other deck, and here is Sweet success. Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. Sweet success with the Six of Wands. Whatever you're thinking about, go for it. Do it. Absolutely. Whatever you're thinking about, do it. There's something that it makes sense. Again, you're such a visionary. Trust me, it makes sense. But other people don't have your vision. They don't have the capacity to mentally plan out the things, the structures that you create in your mind. So when you tell them, they're like, what? Yeah, okay. That's kind of what it feels like sometimes when people deal with Gemini. They're very much like, yeah, sure, because you're like a mile ahead. Your brain is running faster, and it's like 3 steps ahead of the game. And in retrospect, people are going to be like, how did you even come up with this? But I know that it makes sense to you. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope I get to read for you again sometime. Take care.